John, thank you so much for joining us here at IMpower.
Thank you.
It must be really great to be back amongst your peers, able to talk about what the last 2 years has brought and all the changes it's bringing.
It really is. It's great to be in person with people, and there's just such enthusiasm and real engagement with people wanting to discuss so many topics across technology, ESG, markets. So it really is a great forum and really a privilege to be here.
Now, your area of interest is particularly the technology you mentioned there.
Yes.
There's been so much sort of legacy technology in companies that's been slow to change, but now we are seeing sort of quite rapid changes. What are you seeing, and what would your commentary on that be?
Yeah, it's tough for firms to make change, especially with their technology platforms, a big part of the agenda, There hasn't been, I think, many compelling reasons for people to make the change. There's been some incremental improvements, but now with things like cloud, you really have a seismic, opportunity to drive a different level of technology change that I think was a bit delayed with COVID and the pandemic. So now with everyone really, back and engaging, we're really seeing that take up pretty rapidly.
And perhaps COVID has also brought to the fore the need for it, though. It may have delayed the implementation, but it's certainly highlighted the need.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think everyone, when they look at their strategies during, COVID, whether it was work from home or disaster recovery, the need for more scale, the need for more flexibility, different operating models, disaster recovery, resiliency. Clearly, organizations were pushed pretty hard, during COVID in those areas.
And these technological changes need to be implemented throughout the business as well. It's not just front office as we've perhaps seen, it's really from back office all the way through as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think most people are driven to the client-facing or the very top part, the visible parts of technology. But unfortunately, if you're not addressing it from the bottom up, you're not getting the full benefit. It's sort of like putting a new car shell on a Skoda. It's just not going to get you there. It might look good, but it's still the same old, technology. You really do need to address it from the bottom up to get the full benefit of a full digital, transformation.
And in terms of what the results of that transformation might be, what are you hearing from your partners and the end investors about what benefits this is going to bring?
Yeah, it's really about scale. I mean, when you really pull it apart, historically, technology has been a bit of a bottleneck where it was very expensive to have unlimited storage and unlimited computing capability. Now with cloud, that's no longer the case, right? So now organizations can really look at achieving scale at a level they couldn't before, and not just on their own, but across the whole industry. That really is the big driver behind all of this.
So for forward-thinking people in businesses, what should they be saying to their leaders, and what would you encourage the conversations to be that they're having to bring about that change in businesses that perhaps have been a bit reluctant in the past?
Yeah, people look at technology on its own, sort of this standalone thing that you have to be doing sort of separate from the rest of the organization. And that couldn't be more, incorrect. I mean, really, this is the ability to initiate a much broader operational model change and organizational change across the firm. Technology is a tool. It's not everything, right? It's not the be-all and end-all without, a good operating model and without a, good application of it. So really, organizations need to look at this and say, what can this do to help us initiate and drive, broader change throughout the entire organization?
Exactly. It's got to be an absolutely kind of wholesale change across the business,
right.
Not just small little bits that you pick. It's got to be throughout.
That's right. It's not a magic tool or a magic, a cure-all, right? So it needs to be part of a much bigger strategy. And it's never been a more exciting time with all the tools that are out there now to really drive that change, but it needs to be very broad across an entire organization.
And talking about exciting times, FundGuard's just recently closed its Series B funding with City and State Street. Tell me about that and what you're excited about that.
We're really fortunate to have them along with our other clients and partners. We're not going to do all of this ourselves. We're not, the lesson we've seen in our industry is that a technology company on its own is an important part of the equation, but it's not the entire part of the solution. So being able to partner with State Street and Citi and our other clients really allows us to take those steps towards an industry utility and a collaborative approach that will get us the scale and will help us drive the change across the industry at a level that so far has been challenging for most folks. So we're really excited to be partnered with them and have their subject matter expertise, their operational expertise, all their experience with our technology. We think is a very powerful combination.
It's interesting to see that evolution as well, because I think you talked there and you described it as a collaborative approach. That's something
Yes.
that many firms are now seeing as the way forward. We mustn't be siloed in our own sort of little areas of expertise. We need to share the wealth, if you like.
That's right, and we have great examples of that in our industry. If you look at things like Swift or DTC, or there's so many great examples, and so really now we need to look at this platform around accounting and data really as a utility model. It's generally not a strategic differentiator unless it's not done well, and so really for the next generation, the way technology will be deployed at such a larger level and scale, working with our partners will be the way forward that we're really excited about.
John, thank you so much for sharing your insights. Great to talk to you today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time too. Thanks.